When I look at subdivision on Rock Creek, it makes me very sad. And I think that it's the death of a ranch, and it will never be a ranch again. Plus, it just seems to be that there has to be someplace sacred. There's a time and a place for everything, and it seems like this is such a special ranching area and wildlife, and if it becomes so subdivided, there won't be a place for the wildlife to live, and there won't be a place to ranch. So I think agriculture and ranching are real important for open spaces and for wildlife, and it all goes hand in hand.
Rock Creek's a really interesting drainage. For decades and decades, it's been really loved by all kinds of people who live there and the people who come there. We've got the bighorn sheep, we've got moose, we've got elk, we've got mule deer and whitetails, and we've got 5 kinds of trout and pristine water and gorgeous scenery and pentlers and wilderness areas and snowfall. I mean, it's just a remarkable place, and nationally known as well as locally well loved, a place worthy of protecting. We have a number of different ways that we work with landowners. Our major tool, though, is the conservation easement. When a conservation easement is put on a piece of property, what it is doing essentially is limiting some uses of the property in favor of others. In other words, heavy development of one kind or another would be prohibited in favor of protecting the conservation values. What you've done then is given up some flexibility with the property. That means that the property value is reduced somewhat, and that's where the effect can come on the in terms of the estate taxes, because if the value is not as high, then the tax isn't as high, and the tax often is more than people have counted on. The other possibility is that when easements are donated either wholly or in part to the land trust, then that constitutes a charitable deduction, so that a landowner may well be able to write off the gift against income taxes, and that can also be very, very beneficial.
We started out with a little of nothing under contract to buy this ranch, and we have family that would like to carry on, because I've got a grandson that is here on the ranch now that is 26 years old, and so he wishes to continue ranching. It took a lot of pressure off of us to put it under a conservation easement. Has been beneficial to me for retirement, besides the fact that we have a legitimate excuse to tell our people that we cannot subdivide, we cannot sell them an acre of ground, we cannot change what we've got in effect now.
The thing that made me decide to have an easement done on my property was a concern for subdivision and development. You have a blue ribbon trout stream, and there's just so much that it can stand.
Too many times people think they have 2 prospects in front of them. 1, keep going as is, or 2, give up, sell to the developers, and move away. Conservation easements and other tools that land trusts have are about all the things in the middle, where you can stay on the land, you can have economic return, you can control what's going to happen there down the line. The Rock Creek Land Trust can be an ally in securing a future that makes sense.
A conservation easement is a very personal issue, and to each one it's a little something different, and you have to go slow, I think, and you have to find out as much information as possible and try and figure out, just what's going to be best for you. But this has just been a real positive thing for our whole family.
We've got approximately 5 miles of the stream that is under this conservation easement, plus another portion that is a tributary to Rock Creek. And I also have, on a grandson that is 26 years old, but I also have 2 great-grandsons that are 5 and a year and a half. So their life they might have a future here too.
It's very appealing conservation work that we do because it's completely voluntary on the landowner's part. If somebody agrees that open space or other conservation values are worthy of protecting, as do we, then we are delighted to work with them. If they have other goals or are not interested, they don't work with us. And that's just fine. I think that's a really nice way to do it because no one is doing this unless they want to do it. And so that makes it a very nice partnership between our organization and the landowner.